So gyms actually sell way more subscriptions than they can even accommodate the people. If everybody had a gym membership, has a gym membership to a particular gym, actually goes to the gym, they would never be able to deal with that demand. But what happens? What's that psychological thing that happens? Yes? Right. Right. Who has one of those gym memberships? None of you? Oh, yeah. So, and then what happens when you go to stop it?
You have to pay a fee to freeze your account.
You do? Yeah, sometimes. But you also, you think, oh, well, you feel bad about stopping it, right? Because you think you're going to go one of these days. So they've really got us with the cell phones. My cell phone bill, my internet bill, it's insane how much money it is. I don't know how to stop it. So, I mean, I know how to stop it, but I don't know what I'd replace it all with, because I think, you know, all of the companies have figured out how to maximize this. All right, productization of services. What does that mean? Yes?
Where your services are like a product itself, like you don't actually sell like physical goods, but you could actually like teach people or like a tutor or something.
Right.
Would be a good.
Right, like tutoring, right? You used to just maybe get a tutor and you pay him for an hour, but now people will kind of have a tutoring package, right? You can have, you know, 10 hours of tutoring in the month, or 100 hours over the year. So what does that do for a tutor?
Guarantees business.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard to go out and sell, you know, an hour at a time. So if you can sell a package of hours, it's much more advantageous. So they do that with all kinds of products now, all kinds of services. So yeah, standard bundle of services and selling them for a fixed price. And you can have a fixed price, right, for the service, and then some variable pricing on top of it. Okay, servitization. What's that? It's like a bundle of what? The product with the service, right? So when you buy, when you lease these copiers, or you know, you buy certain types of equipment, you get a service contract, right? So there's another way. You just pay for the service. It doesn't matter if your machine breaks down, but you're paying a monthly fee for the service. So that creates an ongoing revenue stream. Okay. All right, long tail, this is a little different. What could this be? What are like microbreweries or like people who put things on YouTube? It's a little different. It's kind of like starting really small, right, and creating some fan base around it, people who are real advocates for something. And then, so you really don't have a lot of kind of upfront, like launching some gigantic brand, but you start very small and you like develop this followers, for instance. So yes, finding a tiny little niche that you can serve in ways that big companies can't, right? Though, you know, you could argue that some of the big companies are, you know, going into the small brewery types of businesses, but hoping that it grows into a larger market. All right, direct to customer. Who needs a store, right? Has anybody used Warby Parker or any of these? Or farmers markets? It's another way, right? Another woman on the panel last night, she was from Turkey, and has anybody gone to the farmers market here? Have you had the Turkish food at the farmers market? She's actually an industrial engineer, but she sells Turkish food at the market. But you know, that's way you don't have any. And she's wondering what she's thinking about doing a restaurant, or perhaps, but just thinking about how much capital it would take to get into a restaurant. Restaurant has, among the highest failure rates for a number of reasons. So just taking out the middlemen in a number of different ways. Dell was really one of the first ones to do that. They kind of revolutionized being able to buy that was really innovative at the time, that you could buy a computer online. Everybody was buying them in more specialized stores. All right, freemium. I know you all know that. Some of these I know are near and dear to your heart, right? What does that mean?
Like at first they're free, and then much more features. Like Spotify for $5 includes Hulu and Showtime now. So
Oh, really?
yeah, you kind of get the free version, and you're like, wait, and then you say that, yeah.
So even if I spend $5, or do I have to be a
I think
student?
you have to be a college student.
Okay.
I
Well,
think other than that, it's like 10.
right. But you get Hulu with it?
And Showtime. So.
Wow. Without commercials or with commercials?
Oh wait, no, it's got commercials.
Okay. Well, so, yeah. They've always got you, see. All right. Yeah. So typically 8%. So they actually calculate, they have a calculation of how many people will upgrade. And that's all in their business model and in their revenue models and things like that, that they're able to kind of project those things. All right, online auctions. The benefits. Yes. Right, no middleman. How do they make their money though?
Probably take a percentage of what the
Right, so they,
budget actually went for.
right, so they take, it's per transaction or per the value of the product. Create a community of sellers. Ooh, the Hotel California model, I like this one. What happens? You go to Disney.
Spend a lot of money.
Right, you get to,
Stuck with paying their prices.
right, you go to Disney and you feel like you need a whole new wardrobe of Mickey Mouse clothes. And then you leave and you said, why do I need all of that? But doesn't it just suck you in and you want to buy everything? So, or a baseball game, or I went to the movies with my son in Boston during the summer, and it was the price of, $8 Coke or something like that. You pay $16 for Coke and popcorn. All right, so they trap you into buying high profit merchandise and concessions. Okay, network effect. What do these businesses rely on? Right, but there's only value, the advertising only has value if what? Right, so they call that what? Eyeballs, right? Or you need a lot of people who are followers, or a lot of people have to look at your sites. So alone they have no value, but only because of that connectivity. Same even with an old fax machine, right? It has no value unless you have somebody to communicate with. So they're all dependent on people. Value to each user becomes higher the more you use it. Crowdsourcing. What's the value? How do they create value? How do any of these have value? Any of these entities? Yes.
Generally, the people who use the product make the product that they're consuming.
Right. Right. So the users are the consumers in a way, right? Something like Angie's List. It has value. If you input some value and you review people, then it has, it continuously has value. YouTube, you have to have followers for you to have value, and things like Cafe Press, right? People have to submit things, or Etsy. Otherwise, that entity, that business entity has no value. So you have to have a lot of entities within it. So you're leveraging users to co-create products and sell to other users. All right, what about premium brands? What are you buying?
They sell themselves on luxury, like really expensive.
Right, but what are they selling?
Their reputation.
Yeah, their reputation, but what are you getting? Why do you buy this? Yeah, status, right? They're essentially selling status. Because, you know, does that bag work any better than, you know, a bag that would cost, you know, a tenth of the price? No, right? So you're buying the social status most times. So, all right, the nickel and dime. This one's getting worse too. You know, they take a little good idea and then they have to make our lives miserable, right? What is this? Come on, who's flown recently? Tell me about your worst your worst nickel and dime flight.
I think on the flight I'm going on Friday, it was like $90 to have a carry-on to put overhead. You don't get carry-on anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's ridiculous now, right? We pay for everything. But, you know, they trap you with those low prices and then charge for every little extra thing. All right. So this is just saying how much time we have. You know, these business models have really transformed over the years, you know, due to the internet, due to technology, due to you can have a worldwide market with many of these businesses now, right? You used to just be, you know, stuck in your community for your clothes or for your travel agent or whatever that might be. So Chris McAvoy will be here next week, and he'll talk more about kind of the drivers and analyzing business models, but hopefully I gave you a good intro, hopefully not too much. But so you need the business model, right? But it's not alone, it's not the thing alone, right? You have to execute well, but you can't do every single, you have to really think about what are going to be my key success factors, right? So Zappos is a great example, right? There are a lot of potential. If you're in the shoe business, you can have a lot of potential advantages, but you know, they've chosen to do the customer service, have everything overnight, but absolutely, right, you're not getting rock bottom prices or personal service. So what you'll be talking about next week, or business models in general, you can't do everything. You know, you can't have the highest service and you can't have the cheapest price. That doesn't work, right? So it's kind of all of those gears, all of these business decisions that you make kind of have to be optimized so you can have, so you can drive revenue. All right. That's it. Any questions? Was that eye-opening in any way? Is that going to make you look at all these things you have and think about them a little differently? Yeah? Okay. If you think of any really great ones, like I said, please tell me so I can upgrade. So, all right. Thanks.